The intelligence behind LinkedIn Wrapped. What if LinkedIn could summarize your entire professional year in seconds and actually get it right? Well, now it does. Hey, I am Mehul Brahmabhat, CEO and founder of Matrix Space. And I have helped hundreds of businesses and professionals grow strategically using data, technology, and digital intelligence. Today, I'll show you how LinkedIn Wrap uses data engineering to personalize professional growth and what that means for you. I have spent over a decade and a half working in digital strategy and data driven systems. And I have seen how powerful engineered data can be when it's structured correctly. And once you understand what's happening behind LinkedIn Wrap, you will start thinking about your own professional data very differently. What is LinkedIn Wrapped and why it matters? Recently, LinkedIn introduced its own version of a Wrap experience similar to what Spotify does, where professionals get personalized recap of their activity, engagement, and growth throughout the year. It shows you highlights like your top skills, engagement milestones, network growth, and the themes you were most active in. On the surface, it feels like a simple summary, but in reality, it's a sophisticated data engineering system turning billions of interactions into meaningful professional insights. And this matters because when platforms reflect your growth back to you, it shapes how you see your own career trajectory. That's the first power of LinkedIn Wrapped awareness. The foundation, intelligent data collection. Now let's go deeper. Before LinkedIn can show you anything meaningful, it needs structured, reliable data, and this begins with continuous data collection happening behind the scenes. Every action you take feeds into the system. Posts you create and how people interact with them, comments, shares, and dwell time on content, connection requests and accepted networks, skills added, searches made, and profile visits. This data isn't random, it's event based tracking tied to your professional identity. The key here is consistency. LinkedIn isn't analyzing one movement, it's analyzing patterns across months. And when you consistently show up online, the system has enough data to build real insights about you. That's the beauty of structured tracking. It turns activity into measurable growth. From raw data to structured intelligence. But raw data alone is messy. Clicks, impressions, timestamps, none of that is useful unless it's cleaned and structured. This is where serious data engineering comes into a play. LinkedIn likely runs massive ETL pipeline, extracting, transforming, and loading data into organized systems. Here is what happens in the transformation layer. Duplicate interactions get filtered, job titles, industries are standardized, content topics are categorized using AI models. Engagement behaviors are mapped into user segments. This process converts chaos into clarity. And I can tell you from this experience, most businesses fail not because they lack data, but because they lack structure. When data is engineered properly, insights become inevitable. And that's exactly what LinkedIn has mastered here. AI models that detect your professional pattern. Once the data is structured, machine learning models step in. This is where personalization truly begins. LinkedIn systems analyze trends and probabilities to detect your dominant content themes, the type of professionals engaging with you. Growth spikes across months, which posts generate the strongest reactions. For example, if you frequently engage with AI, startups, and leadership content, the system identifies that clusters. It does not guess your interest, it calculates them based on behavioral evidence. That's predictive modeling applied to professional growth. And when AI detects patterns consistently, personalization becomes accurate, not random. Turning insights into human story. Here is where it becomes powerful. Data alone can feel cold, but LinkedIn Wrap translates technical metrics into emotionally engaging insights. Instead of showing raw dashboards, it's tell you things like your network grew by 42% this year. You were most active in marketing and strategy. Startup founders engaged with you the most. Leadership was your strongest thing. Behind these simple statements are complex scoring algorithms and aggregation systems. But what users see is clarity, and clarity drives confidence. When professionals see measurable progress, they start acting more intentionally in the next year. That's how data engineering quietly influences behavior. What this means for your personal brand. Now, here is the bigger lesson. LinkedIn Wrapped isn't just a recap feature, it's a reflection engine. It shows you how the digital world perceives your professional identity, and you don't need a LinkedIn's infrastructure to apply this thinking. You can start by reviewing your monthly engagement patterns, tracking which topics generate real conversions, measuring quality of connections, not just quantity, analyzing which posts align with your long-term goals. Professional growth becomes powerful when it's intentional and measured. And once you start thinking like a data engineer about your own brand, growth stops being accidental. It becomes strategic. That's where real career acceleration begins. Now, I want to hear from you. If LinkedIn created your wrap today, what would it say about your professional identity? Drop a comment and tell me your dominated theme this year. And if you want to build a stronger personal brand using a data backed strategy, feel free to connect. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.